Hi, I'm Chantel Douglas, and this is my Learning Manifesto. In this video, I'll be discussing my passion, the emerging issues related to digital learning, the pros and cons of the current state of education, and my core beliefs about digital learning. I hope you enjoy. My passion. All students are capable of learning. However, not all students have the same opportunities to learn. My passion includes creating those opportunities to ensure that all students are able to grow and achieve success. In addition, my passion collides with creative inquiry-based learning to promote critical thinking. My passion also includes encouraging all those I encounter, including students and coworkers, to have a growth mindset in helping them to facilitate such. Emerging issues related to digital learning. The biggest emerging issue related to digital learning, in my opinion, is currently the insufficient funding and budgeting. Many school districts are facing the same issues, which include inadequate available funds. The allocation of funds tends to go to things such as textbooks and educational materials that we're used to, which leaves little budgeting allocation towards technology. Unfortunately, this leads to a lack of functioning technology on campus or a lack of the sufficient amount of technology needed to be conducive to digital learning. It's very hard to incorporate digital learning without the support of the adequate tools necessary to do so. For example, on my campus, the Medical Magnet program was lucky to have tablets donated to them. However, due to the insufficient Wi-Fi of the campus building, the tablets seem to sit there useless. The next top emerging issues related to digital learning include reluctant teachers. Many teachers, especially the veteran teachers, have a hard time moving into a digital learning era. This is partially due to the fact that there is a lack of proper professional development and coaching taking place in order to better support them. To ensure that we are supporting the digital learning, we must first ensure that we are supporting our teachers in meeting their needs, answering questions, and continuing to coach them so that they are comfortable with the digital learning community. Another emerging issue related to digital learning includes inappropriate incorporation. This ties back to the lack of efficient professional development and coaching. Oftentimes, when people discuss digital learning, they think it's a completely brand new curriculum, and that's incorrect. Digital learning should not be seen as a substitute for current content, but it should be seen as an additional tool to enhance the current content, making this content fun and new and exciting and hopefully inquisitive so that the students are eager to learn. Finally, the biggest, most serious emerging issue, in my opinion, related to digital learning and learning in itself is the focus on standardized testing. It is understood that standardized testing is needed to monitor and track the growth of our students. However, unfortunately, there seems to be an extremely dependent need for the standardized testing. The emphasis on testing is somewhat eliminating the creativity and the inquiry tied into learning itself. This becomes an issue because now teachers and students are spending more time preparing for an exam than they actually are teaching and learning the content. Ultimately, this leaves very little time to incorporate digital learning because digital learning is still not an aspect included on the standardized test. What's wrong with education and how can we fix it? The first issue with education currently is this notion of cookie cutter students and teachers. Currently, the education system does very little to efficiently facilitate what's called differentiated instruction. To help enhance this notion, educators must place an emphasis on critical thinking skills. In addition, teachers must allow students to discover on their own. The incorporation of student interest would greatly help this issue. In addition, the education system seems to be moving toward a politically correct stance. Of course, as far as legalities and legal issues, the education system must be aware and accurate. However, it just seems that there's been too much of an emphasis lately on being politically correct. There seems to be a loss of focus on what the education system actually is and what the focus should be on, which is to educate students and to make sure that they are successful citizens upon leaving the education system. In addition, the final issue with education currently is the teacher pay scale. There needs to be a reevaluation nationwide for all teachers. Teachers deserve to be paid as the professionals they are. And I strongly believe that if teachers were actually paid for all they were doing, that the outcome would be greater. There are some teachers that will give their all and not complain about the pay scale. However, I do believe that majority of the teachers will perform much better if the pay scale match the effort that they put in. My core belief systems about digital learning. I believe that teacher growth is infinite. As long as the teachers are willing, they really should understand that they are able to grow forever and that learning is consistent and continuous and infinite and never ending. In addition, when it relates to digital learning and learning in general, student engagement is the key. As long as you get your student engaged in what they're doing, they will be fine. I encourage everyone to utilize student interest, get to know the kids, get to know what they like, and incorporate that into the digital learning. That way they want to do it. They're eager to do it. In addition, finally, leadership is essential. You only model the leaders that you see doing what they say they want you to do. And if the leaders are, encouraging digital learning environment on the campus, then I believe that the teachers and the students will feed off of that, and it will create a better and easier way to incorporate digital learning into the content that is already being taught. Once this happens, then we are preparing our students and ourselves actually for the future that's ahead, which is definitely incorporating digital learning.